Welcome back to A Closer Look. I'm Linda Fontaine. My guest this hour is Monica Tucker. She is the director of Magnolia Ridge. Welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit, for those of us, like me included, what is Magnolia Ridge?
Magnolia Ridge is a part of Frontier Health. We're located at Turning Point in Johnson City. Magnolia Ridge is a 48-bed residential treatment facility, and we serve males who suffer from addiction and co-occurring mental health needs. At Magnolia Ridge, we receive referrals from all avenues. We take in-house referrals from our CSU and detox unit, and we also work very closely with Woodridge and the court systems and other community agencies. Individuals who are interested in attending our program or who are suffering from co-occurring disorders, they can also self-refer, and they can call our CSR and get placed either on the waiting list, or sometimes we just pull them straight in from home and bring them straight in for treatment. We at Magnolia Ridge were equipped with a treatment team of clinical staff consisting of case managers and therapists. We also have residential technicians who are with the clients 24/7.
Okay, so let me ask you real quick, Monica. So this is a psychiatric hospital?
It's a co-occurring facility. It's a residential facility for mainly substance use, but many of those who suffer from substance use disorders have co-occurring disorders as well.
Okay, and you mentioned men. So is this only for men?
Yeah, our facility is only for males. However, there is a female facility called Willow Ridge. It's located off-site at a different facility, but it also houses females who suffer from the same disorders.
Okay, and some of the disorders you were talking about, substance abuse, is that probably your biggest thing? I'm just guessing that because that seems to be such a big problem in our area.
Absolutely. It is. It's running rampant in our area. The overdose rate is skyrocketing, especially because of the global pandemic. And it's very important that, when the clients come in here, we meet them where they're at, because everybody's journey is different. While they're here, we provide them linkage to outpatient services, as well as we connect them with the recovery community in Johnson City and surrounding areas, so that they can become familiar with, people who are in recovery, so they can, get rides to meetings or look for a sponsor and work the steps if that's what they choose.
Okay, now do you have to have insurance to be a patient here? Because that's a big problem, especially right now too, people losing their jobs and things.
Absolutely. No, when they come in, if they meet the income requirements, they can qualify for state grants that would cover their treatment.
What does that mean? Because if they're not making any money, you're saying salary requirements. What does that mean exactly?
They have to be a resident of Tennessee and meet the income requirements. So if they're below the poverty line.
Okay, below the poverty line. I gotcha. Okay. So how long have you guys been around serving the men in this area?
At this location, we have been over here for a little bit over a year.
Okay.
We was on Buffalo Street, and then we moved over here to where we combined all the services under one building. So here at Turning Point, where we're located, there's a 24/7 walk-in center, as well as a 16-bed detox unit, and another separate unit called crisis stabilization unit. So people can come in and get an assessment, and if need be, get stabilized. And then that's when they come to us at Magnolia Ridge.
Okay, so how long is a usual stay there?
Typically it's 28 days, sometimes a little bit longer. If clients need to stay a little bit longer, they'll put an extension in so that they can work on, therapeutic things to help them stabilize their recovery.
All right. So someone's there 28 days and then they're released out into society. Is there something in place for them to get back into it safely and successfully?
Yes. we connect them with the outpatient services that are the location that they're going to be in. And they have appointments the day they discharge. So when they discharge, they'll know what appointment dates they have. So that, and right now, since it's COVID, a lot of the appointments are telehealth. So they have access via their phone to their appointments. We also provide them with resources for the community, so they're aware of where the meetings are. They get a list of sponsor numbers. They get a list of mail numbers for people in the recovery community. They also come back and attend aftercare, which is held weekly at Magnolia Ridge when the clients come in and share their stories after they've graduated. So
you guys have been here a little over a year. Before, you said you were also in Johnson City, but another location.
mm-hmm.
How long have you guys been in the region?
I have honestly taken over this role a year and a half ago. So I know that I personally went through the female program myself, and I know at least 10 years,
okay.
If not longer.
You know firsthand about how successful the program can be.
Absolutely. I went through the female version or the Willow Ridge program in 2014 and completed the treatment and stayed up here and dove into school and got my degree. And so I've just been being of service and working in the field since.
That's amazing. I love that. So you know firsthand, so you can tell people, I can relate to you. When they say you don't know how I feel, you can say, absolutely, I do. That's very beneficial to the recovery.
Some of our staff members are also in recovery, so it's very beneficial, because when they're over here and they're struggling or they're triggered, we can go to them, we can share our experience with them, and they can identify with us, and they're a little bit more receptive to what we have to say.
Oh, I think that would be huge. Absolutely. So
yes.
Give us a few details of the treatment. What does a patient go through?
In treatment, sometimes this is client's first time in treatment, so it's all uncomfortable for them. It's the fear of the unknown. They want that instant gratification, and they want to feel good. They want everything to go back to the way it was before they started actively using. So when they come to us, it's kind of discouraging when things don't happen as quickly as they like. So typically, there's a lot of guilt and shame related to their using, which is great, which is why we have therapists on hand. And typically, if they come in, they've lost everything. They've hit the rock bottom. So, the consequences of their using, they can see that. They see it firsthand that, hey, I used, and this is the consequences of my using, and now I have nothing. So their main goal here is to work on why they actively use, so that they can go out and be successful in the community.
Okay, so is it a lot of it sounds like it's one-on-one counseling. Is there group counseling? Is there oftentimes medication involved? And you set a schedule for them, like they have to get up at a certain day and to do chores, that sort of thing? Like, what's an average day look like?
An average day is they get up at 6:00 in the morning, and they take their meds, and they do goals and meditation, and then they start attending groups. They have 3 groups in the morning, and then they'll have some free time in the afternoon. And then they start back in the evening. After they eat dinner, they'll attend H&I, which is hospitals and institutions. We have people from the recovery community bring the meetings into them here in the facility, so that they get that experience. And then they typically get their phone calls and stuff through the evening. And on their days, they get to meet individually with their therapist. And also their case managers will meet with them and touch base to see if they are in need of grants for housing, or if they're in need of any other services.
Very good. Okay, so do most of the patients admit themselves, or do they get admitted from somewhere else? How does that work?
Well, our program's a voluntary program. So typically they're self-referrals, like they brought their self in, they're aware that they're using or their drinking has been impacting their lives and those around them. So they'll come in for help, and that's when they come to us.
Okay, very good. Are there mandated programs?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. So how can someone get in touch with you guys if they wanted to learn more about your program?
They can call our CSR for a referral, or they can call and get more information about the program at 423-926-0940, and the extension is 2312.
Do you guys have a website?
Yes, we have frontierhealth.org.
Okay, so you guys are under Frontier Health, and you're in the
Yes.
Turning Point building, and you are Magnolia Ridge. See, that took me a little time to figure all that out. Magnolia Ridge in the Turning Point building under the umbrella of Frontier Health.
Yes. Our address is 208 East Unaka Avenue, Johnson City, Tennessee, 37601.
All right, Monica, any other pearls of wisdom or information that you think would be important for us that want to learn more about your program to know?
If you're interested in our program, just give us a call.
All right. Monica, thank you so much for being on the show and educating us on what a wonderful organization you are, and that this is such a well-deserved and needed facility in our region. And I'm sure you guys stay pretty full. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you coming and educating us once again. Merry Christmas. I appreciate you. And we will see you back here next week with another edition of A Closer Look. Have a blessed and wonderful week.